Chapter 6. Back to L.A. I woke up. I was lying on the ground. Where was I? I didn't know. Then I remembered. I was in the stables area at Santa Rosita Racetrack. My hands were tied behind my back, and there was a bag over my head. My whole body was painful. What had happened to me? I remembered the two men. How long had I been on the ground? I tried to think. Then I heard a voice.
"Who are you? What's happening here?"
I knew that voice. It was Slim. I didn't reply. Slim took the bag off my head. Then he quickly untied the rope. I moved my arms. I stood up slowly. It was dark now. I had been tied up for a long time.
"Lenny, why are you tied up?"
Slim asked. I smiled. "Hi, Slim," I said. "I was tired. I lay down here to sleep. While I was asleep, somebody tied me up, and they put this bag over my head."
"Lenny, stop joking. I was worried about you. You didn't return the security pass," said Slim. "I've been looking for you for an hour. What happened?"
"I don't know," I replied. "Someone hit me on the head. They put a bag over my head, and they tied my hands with a rope. They kicked me. I couldn't shout for help. I fainted."
Fainted.
"Who did this, Lenny?" Slim asked. "Who do you know at this racetrack?"
"I know you, Slim, but I don't know any other people here," I said. "And I don't know who did this to me." I didn't want to tell Slim about the chief or about the men in the red 4x4. "Perhaps someone made a mistake," I said. "Please forget about this, Slim."
"Okay, someone made a mistake," said Slim. "They were trying to kill another person, not you."
Slim didn't believe my story.
"Come to my office and sit down for a few minutes," he said.
I went with Slim to his office by the gateway.
Gateway.
I sat in a chair while Slim made some coffee. He started to ask me some more questions. Suddenly, the phone rang. Slim answered the call. Then he put the phone down.
"Stay here and rest, Lenny," he said. "I have to go to the administrator's office for 5 minutes."
Slim left the office. Quickly, I leant across his desk and opened the drawer. There were lots of yellow and blue passes in the drawer. I took a blue pass, and I put it in my pocket. Then I closed the drawer. Now I wanted to leave Santa Rosita as fast as possible. I left the yellow security pass on the desk, and I walked to the car park. I got into the Chrysler, and I started the engine. I drove back to my office building, and I parked the car. My whole body was painful. I had a terrible headache. There was a red light on my telephone answering machine. There was a message for me, but I didn't listen to the message. I was tired. I looked at my watch. The time was 8:45 p.m. Dinner time. But I didn't want to eat anything. I wanted to sleep. The phone rang. I didn't answer the phone. I didn't want to talk to anyone. I listened while the answering machine recorded another message. "Hi, Lenny," said the voice from the answering machine. "This is Herman. I'm calling about my $1,000. I'll see you tomorrow." Herman. I put my hand in my pocket. I had $200, which Sandy had given me. Would Herman be happy with $200? I didn't want to think about this problem. I fell asleep. It was morning when I awoke. It was about 6:30 a.m. I didn't have a headache, but I was very tired. I got up and drank some water. Then I sat in my chair again. "I'll sleep for another hour," I said to myself. Soon I was dreaming. Chapter 7. Sandy again. I was dreaming about Hawaii again. The sun was shining on my face. The sound of the sea was around me. There was a beautiful woman standing next to me. Suddenly, a hand was touching my arm. I opened my eyes. It was Sandy Bonner. She was standing beside me. Her hand was on my arm. My arm was painful. "Ouch!" I said.
Mr. Samuel, are you okay? Have you been in a fight? She asked.
"I'm okay," I said. I looked at my watch. It was 10:30 a.m. I looked at Sandy.
"I phoned you yesterday evening," she said. "You weren't here, but I left a message on your answering machine. Have you found the chief?"
"No," I said. "But I'm learning a lot about horse racing. I want to ask you a question, Sandy. Who was your tall, slim visitor yesterday?"
Doll.
Suddenly, Sandy's face became pale. She was very frightened.
"I told you not to come to the ranch. They'll kill—"
She stopped speaking. "Who will they kill, Sandy?" I asked. "Your tall, slim friend tried to kill me yesterday."
"You?" Sandy was surprised. "Where did you meet him?"
"Forget about that," I replied. "Is there anything that you want to tell me? I must have some more information."
"No, Mr. Samuel," said Sandy quietly. "I can't tell you anything more."
"Sandy," I said, "I want to help you, but you must help me. Tell me about Lou Weaver. Why does he walk around your ranch with a gun?"
"Lou is a good man," she replied. "He works for me. He takes care of the horses. He's worried about me. I can't tell you anything more."
"Miss Bonner," I said, "why won't you give me any information?"
"I can't tell you anything more," Sandy said again. "Now I must leave. If they see me here, they'll kill the chief. I've paid you for the work that you did yesterday, but you made a mistake. I don't want you to do any more work for me. I won't come here again, and I won't phone you. Please forget about me and the chief, and please stay away from the ranch."
Sandy turned, and she ran out of the room. So, I wasn't working for Sandy Bonner anymore, but I owed Herman money. I took the $200 and the blue security pass from my pocket. I threw the pass into the waste bin. I put $50 back into my pocket, and I put $150 in an envelope. I wrote Herman's name on the envelope. I left my office, and I pushed the envelope under Herman's door. Then I drove home. 2 hours later, I was much better. At home, I had had a hot shower and some breakfast, and I had put on some clean clothes. I decided to enjoy myself. I had only $50, but I decided to go to the races at Santa Rosita. First, I drove back to my office. When I got to the office door, the phone was ringing. I picked up the phone. "Hello," I said. "Lenny Samuel speaking."
"Mr. Samuel?" said a voice.
It was Sandy Bonner.
"I'm sorry, Mr. Samuel. I was wrong. A horse called Golden Dragon—"
Suddenly she stopped speaking. "Sandy," I said, "what do you want to tell me?" But there was no reply. I put the phone down. I was going to Santa Rosita, but I wasn't working now. It was a lovely day, and I was going to enjoy myself. I was going to forget about Sandy Bonner. I wasn't going to look for a horse called the Chief, and I wasn't going to ask about a horse called Golden Dragon. But I took the blue security pass from the waste bin. Then I opened the drawer of my desk, and I took my gun from it. I put the pass and the gun in my pocket. "Perhaps they'll be useful," I said to myself. Then I left the office, and I got into my car. Chapter 8. Golden Dragon. The sun was shining as I drove to the Santa Rosita racetrack. I was wearing my baseball cap and dark glasses again. My binoculars were in the car.
Binoculars.
In my pockets were the blue security pass, $50, and my gun. I thought about Sandy. Why had she phoned me? And why had she stopped speaking suddenly? Why did she say the name Golden Dragon? Where was the chief now? Perhaps I'll look at Stable 14 again, I said to myself. I'm not working for Sandy Bonner anymore, but someone hit me outside Stable 14. Someone didn't want me to see inside. Why not? I looked at the blue sky and the hot sun. It was a lovely day. I decided to watch a few races before I went to Stable 14. The racetrack was very busy. It was Saturday, and thousands of people had come to watch the races. The car park was full of cars. I paid for my racetrack ticket. It cost $20. I paid for my car park ticket. That cost $10. Now I had $20. I picked up my binoculars, and I walked towards the track. Many people were standing by the track, and many people were sitting in the grandstand.
Grandstand. Grandstand.
Everyone was watching the racing. I stood by the track, and I watched 3 races. They were very exciting. Many people bet on horses. They choose the horse which they want to win a race. They make a bet on it. They bet on the horse to win the race. They pay some money at a betting office. If the horse doesn't win the race, the betting office keeps their money. If the horse which they choose is the winner, the betting office gives them more money than they have paid. There was a betting office at the racetrack. People who had come to watch the races could make their bets at this betting office. But there were also betting offices all over the country. People who were not at the racetrack could bet on the races at Santa Rosita too. After each race, there was an announcement from the racetrack loudspeakers. This message
Loudspeakers.
told everyone which horse had won the race. People who had made bets on the winner were very happy. A lot of people watched the races through binoculars. I had brought my binoculars with me, but I didn't watch the horses through them. I watched the people. I was looking for a tall, slim man. Suddenly I saw him. He was sitting in the grandstand. He was about 30, and he was wearing dark glasses and a dark suit. It was the man that I had seen at the ranch and in the red 4x4. He was talking to another man who was sitting next to him. The other man was about 10 years older. He was tall and heavy. He had long red hair tied in a ponytail.
Ponytail.
He was wearing a brown jacket. Sandy had told me about this man. It was Dick Gates. I watched the 2 men through my binoculars. They couldn't see me. The men were talking, and they were watching the races. The dark-haired man had a mobile phone, and he was making lots of phone calls. I moved the binoculars, and I looked at some other people in the crowd. Suddenly, I saw another man that I knew. Herman. Herman started to walk towards me. He was about 100 meters away, but he hadn't seen me. I didn't want to talk to Herman, but I wanted to watch the 2 other men, so I didn't move. Herman came closer and closer. There were hundreds of people near the track, but Herman was big and tall. It was easy to see him. Now he was only 20 meters from me. I turned and started to walk quickly away from him. I walked to the betting office. This was a long, low building with many windows. People were standing in lines at the windows. They were waiting to make their bets. Behind each window, there was a person who took people's money and wrote down the details of their bets. I joined a line. Perhaps Herman won't see me, I thought. Then a hand hit me on the back, a very large hand. "Hi, Lenny," Herman said loudly. "What are you doing here? Do you like racing? I didn't know that." "Hi, Herman," I replied quickly. "Yes, I like racing. I want to bet on the next race." I smiled at the huge bodyguard and pointed to the line of people at the betting window. Herman joined the line behind me. "I want to talk to you about my money, Lenny," Herman said. "You made a mistake when you gave me the envelope. There was only $150 in it." "Oh, I'm sorry about that, Herman," I said. The line of people was moving. I was getting nearer the betting window. "Don't worry about it," Herman said with a big smile. "Give me my $850 now." I was almost at the front of the line. I was almost at the betting window. There was one man in front of me. I didn't know what to do. "Herman," I began. "You're next, Lenny," said Herman. He pushed me forward. Suddenly, I was standing in front of the betting window. There was a woman behind it. "Yes," the woman said. I took the money from my pocket. I had $20, and I had to bet on a horse quickly. I didn't know which one to choose. I looked at the list of horses for the next race, and I saw a name that I knew. Golden Dragon. Golden Dragon was going to run in the next race. Only a few people were betting on the horse. His odds were 50-1. If Golden Dragon wins the race, I'll get 50 times more money than I bet on him, I thought. "I want to bet $20 on Golden Dragon to win the next race," I said quickly. The woman took my money. She gave me a piece of paper with the details of my bet written on it. I turned to Herman. "I want to watch this race," I said. "After that, I'll give you your money." "Okay, Lenny," said Herman. Let's watch the race together.
Herman bet on a horse called Margarita.
Then we walked to the track. We waited for the race to start. I looked through my binoculars. Dick Gates and his friend were sitting in their seats. The thin, dark man was speaking into his mobile phone again. Margarita is a winner, Lenny. Margarita is going to win this race, Herman said. She won her last 2 races. No, Golden Dragon will win, I said. Herman laughed. Golden Dragon, he said. He's the slowest horse in the race. He's never won a race. The horses were going towards the starting gates. Herman pointed to a big brown horse. His jockey was wearing a gold and black shirt. That's Golden Dragon, he said. He won't win. Golden Dragon is big and strong, I said. Herman looked at the horse again. Yes, you're right, he said. He is big and strong. But he's a loser. Margarita is going to win. I looked at the horses through my binoculars. They were ready to start the race. Then I looked quickly at the grandstand. Dick Gates and his friend were holding binoculars. They were looking at the horses by the starting gates. Suddenly, the crowd shouted. The starting gates had opened. The race had started. I looked at the horses galloping along the track.
Galloping. Galloping.
Golden Dragon was the slowest horse.